Buddham 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 Vande Dhammang 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 Vande Sanghang 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 Vande Buddham Dhammang Sanghang Vande Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Sandhaya samannagato hoti Silena samannagato hoti Sutena samannagato hoti Chagena samannagato hoti Panyaya samannagato hoti Dear friends in Dhamma, now we are going to explain a very special teaching in Buddhism, that the heavenly path and the deliverance path. When Buddha explained his message, sometimes the Supreme Buddha directly has explained the deliverance path. Sometimes Buddha explained deliverance path and heavenly path. Sometimes Buddha has explained only the heavenly path. When Buddha met very gifted persons, very wise persons, wise people, Buddha has explained directly the deliverance path, Mokkha Magga, or the path that leads to getting rid of suffering completely. When Buddha met, very common people, big audience, the Supreme Buddha first explained the heavenly path, then finally Buddha explained the deliverance path. Sometimes Buddha has explained only the heavenly path, because Buddha was not only wise, but he was so kind to the world. If Buddha was only wise, he had to explain only the deliverance path. But Buddha has seen like we people. That is why he has explained heavenly path too. And the heavenly path means how we receive a blissful life hereafter, after we die. Deliverance path means how we attain the enlightenment with the understanding of the Four Noble Truths. In this discourse, Sankharuppati Sutta, Buddha has explained first the heavenly path. Next, Buddha has explained the deliverance path. This is the way that Buddha has explained the Sankharuppati Sutta. Buddha says very clearly, if a person can develop the 5 qualities, they are Saddhaya Samannagato Hoti, he who is confident in the Buddha's enlightenment; Selena Samannagato Hoti, he who is endowed with virtuous life, moral conduct; Sutena Samannagato Hoti, he who is endowed with learning of Dhamma; and Chagena Samannagato Hoti, he who is endowed with generosity, practicing generosity, and also he who is endowed with wisdom, that person can decide whether he go to a blissful life or eradicate his defilements completely. As the result of practicing these qualities, they are Saddha, Sila, Sutta, Chaga, Panya. As the result of practicing these qualities, he can decide where he will be reborn. Not only that, he can decide in which caste that he will be reborn. You know, I think you have heard about 5 sins, Pancha Maha Balum, the 5 great sins. Before the Bodhisattva was born in this world, he saw everything. Kalaya, Desaya, Deepaya, Kulaya, Mava. Kala means in which time that I should be reborn. I should be born. Deepaya. Deepaya means the country. Desaya. Desaya means the place or province or state. Kulaya, the caste. Mava, mom. He decided these 5 things before he was born in this world finally as a Bodhisattva. Because the Bodhisattva had developed these qualities to the maximum level as a Bodhisattva. Buddha invited us to develop these qualities and get these results. That is very important. And Buddha says here some realms that the beings were born. When we see the world according to Buddhism, there are several realms that we can see where beings are born. One of them is the very lowest realm is that. What is that? What is the lowest realm? Hell. Yes, hell realm. Even though we don't wish, we can go there directly. Always it is open for us, like our home. Buddha says, he who doesn't practice these qualities, this house is open always for everyone. No qualities we need to practice to go there. No qualities, more chance. And the second one is human realm. The third one is yes, heavenly realm. Next one, Brahma realm. Brahma realm. Brahma realm also can be divided into 2. One of them is Rupavachara Brahma Loka. Rupavachara means with the form, formness, and Arupavachara without form, formless, like homeless. And like these are the places that we can go. Now we are here. We are so fortunate. Usually the Buddhas who appear in the world are born in this realm, in the human realm. What is the reason? The reason is that this is the lowest place that beings can attain enlightenment. If Buddha was born in the heaven realm, we human beings have no chance to attain the enlightenment. when Buddha appeared in this human realm, even Brahmas, Devas also can come to the human realm, and also they also can attain the enlightenment. And also, Buddha also could go to those realms to preach Dhamma to them. And Buddha says, these qualities are helpful to be born in these realms, in the human realm, heaven realm, or Brahma realm. Buddha says, if a person is endowed with the confidence, saddha, virtue, sila, learning, sutta, generosity, chaga, and wisdom, panya, if he has a wish that can be successful, that can be succeeded, it occurs to bhikkhu, or may I be reborn, may I be born with the high warriors at the break-up of my body after death. He bears it in the mind, directs thoughts to it, develops that thought, those intentions, and that abiding developed and made much conducive to be born there. This is the path and method to be born there. Warriors means, in the ancient Indian society, there were 4 castes: Brahmana, Sastriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Shudra means the servants. Vaishya means merchants. And Sastriya means warriors, or they rule the country. And Brahmans, they are the highest caste. They learn everything, and also they teach. They taught other castes. And the Buddha says, if a person is endowed with these 5 qualities, saddha, sila, sutta, chaga, panya, then he wishes to be born in the Sastriya caste, the warrior's caste, he can be born there. Like the Buddha. The Bodhisattva wished to be born in the Sastriya caste. As his wish, he could be born in the Sastriya caste. And also, if a person can develop these qualities, if he wishes to be born in the Brahma caste, he can be born there. And also, these stages are in the human realm. Next, Buddha says, if a person can develop these qualities more and more, these 5 qualities, he wants to be born in the heaven realm. There are 6 places in the heaven realm. 6 Devalokas, divine worlds. Heavenly world is divided into 6. They are Chaturmarajika, Tavatinsa, Yame, Tusite, Nimanaratiya, Paranimita, Vasavartiya. They are names. There are 6 places in the heavenly realm. If a person wishes to be born there, and also not only wishes, but he or she should practice these 5 qualities to the maximum level, then he can be reborn there. Not only that, Buddha says, if a person has developed these 5 qualities, if he wants to be reborn in the Brahma realm, there are 16 Brahma places in the formless world, Rupa-vichara. And also there are 4 places in the formless world in the Brahma realm. If a person wants to be born in this formless world, there are 16 places, he can be born there. For that, he has to practice jhanas, concentration meditation, with the jhana levels. And also here there are another jhanas, arupavachara jhana. As the result of practicing arupavachara dhyana, they can be born in the Brahma realm, in the formless world. And also, these three things, these things belong to, what is that? With the understanding of the karmic law, these things belong to the samsaric circle in the mundane level. When Buddha explained Dhamma, he had an order that the conventional truth and ultimate truth. Conventional truth depends on the karmic law. What is the nature of the conventional truth? What is the intention or idea of the conventional truth? Here we can practice good deeds, but we have still ignorance. What is that ignorance? Ignorance means when we experience something, we think before we experience something, there was something outside. After we experience something, those things remain. That is the ignorance. For example, when you look at me, you think that before you saw me, I was here. Even though you live here, I remain here. That is not false, but that is not true. It means it is true according to the conventional truth, but it is not true according to the ultimate truth. Conventional truth and ultimate truth. The karmic force, karmic law depends on the conventional truth, Sambhuti Satya. Buddha says in this level we can practice white karmas. Atti bhikkhave kammang sukkhaṃ sukha vipākaṃ. There are some actions which are white that cause white results. As the result of producing greed and anger, we can be reborn in a blissful life. But still we are in the samsaric circle. Now, you usually practice good deeds. With the understanding of the karmic law, you usually practice dana, sila and bhavana. Generosity, virtue and meditation. Or loving kindness meditation. Or samatha bhavana. As the result of practicing these qualities, when you are at the end of your life, you can imagine, you can think about your activities that you have already done. Then, when you remember something, those forms come to your mind, then you can see that those things are like just now. Then according to your positive thoughts, you are ready to be reborn. You are not away from the samsaric circle. You are still in the samsaric circle. We have come to this world with this understanding. But we are not away from suffering. Still we are in suffering. We are suffering with aging, death and rebirth. And however, Buddha, when the Buddha explained his message, Buddha always encouraged us to practice this path at first. Because, first of all, we should have an insurance, assurance, refuge that we never fall into a hell. That is the very highest assurance, guarantee or warranty that a person can gain. That is very important. We don't know when we die. We don't know how we die. Sometimes we have to die with a very complex situation, with an accident, with a fight like that. Even though we die any reason, any complex situation, we should have a refuge, assurance that we never fall into hell. That is a real guarantee. That is why Buddha always encouraged us to practice good deeds. Especially, Buddhism has explained the importance of reducing greed and anger. If we have a big attachment with our relatives and properties, it means we are ready to come back to our place now we are in. But not with this form. With another form like a ghost form. And also if we are angry with other people, as the result of anger, we are going to Niraya. It is a lower realm, hell. And that is why we should practice generosity, virtue, and loving kindness. The other thing is that when we practice these qualities according to what the Buddha taught, we usually think that we always wish a blissful life hereafter, but the special thing is that as the result of practicing this path, we can see the results in this immediate life. When we practice these qualities, our mind is so pure and calm, then we are happy. And also, when we develop these qualities, we can make a heaven in this human realm. And also, if we are able to develop our mind with concentration, with a jhana, even though we are there in a human skeleton body, but mentally we are in the Brahma realm. When we practice concentration, at the moment we have overcome the human material worlds. Mentally we are in the Brahma realm. That is the very important thing. If we practice these qualities, we don't need to go to our next life to have these facilities. In this immediate life, we can receive the benefits, results, as the result of practicing these qualities. And also, Buddha said, finally, not only these facilities or benefits that we receive throughout practicing these 5 qualities, but we have another result in this immediate life. If a person can develop these qualities to the maximum level, saddha, confidence, sila, virtue, sutta, learning or education in what the Buddha taught, chaga, generosity, and panya, wisdom. As the result of practicing these qualities to the maximum level, we have, it is visible results immediately effective. What is that? If a person want to attain enlightenment, if a person want to eradicate his all defilements in this immediate life, that wish also will be successful. He can attain the enlightenment in this immediate life. For that we have some previous qualities too, and also courage in this moment, dedication, knowledge, everything we have to dedicate for this. And also we should develop these 4 qualities, 5 qualities to the maximum level. What they are: saddha or confidence, Sila, virtue, Sutta, learning, Tyaga, generosity, and Panya, wisdom. In the primary level, we may have some kind of confidence in the Buddha's message or Buddha's enlightenment. Here, it is very important to understand confidence. What is the confidence? Confidence means the trust in the triple gem. We should be confident in what the Buddha taught and his enlightenment and his noble disciples. We go refuge. We are going to go refuge for the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. When we listen to Dhamma, when we practice Dhamma, when we see the results, then our confidence in Buddha's enlightenment, his teachings, his noble disciples gradually increases. This is the confidence or trust in the triple gem. When we have confidence, then again we practice virtue or moral conduct. Especially the foundation of all moral discipline is that practicing 5 precepts. Abstaining from taking life, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from false speech, abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs. If we have this moral discipline, moral conduct, virtue, it means we have a refuge, we have an assurance that we never fall into hell. That is the real benefit, insurance that a person can gain. And also generosity. Generosity means not only offering something that we have more. We usually offer something to others. If we have more things, we are ready to offer those things. It can be done by anyone. But here, generosity is very high. What is that? It means Atma Sukha Parichaga. It means we should be ready to give up our happiness, our things that you know. For example, you can offer some food to someone. After you offer something to others, you will have your lunch or your breakfast. But if you can offer your breakfast to someone, and if you are able to don't take your breakfast, that is the Atma Sukha Parichaga. If you offer lunch someone, and also if you are able to don't take your lunch, that is the special thing. That means it is some of the highest thing. But now we offer something that we have more. It is not the real generosity. The Bodhisattva concept of generosity as that Atma Sukha Parichaga. Then he practiced generosity for the getting rid of craving or greed. Even though we offer something to others, our greed doesn't decrease. Still, we are greedy. The reason is that we don't have that highest concept. And also, wisdom. Wisdom can be divided into 2. One of them is the karmic law. The other one is the dependent origination. And here, learning is very important. This is the central point, the turning point. Learning. Buddha says very clearly, I proclaim the liberation for those who know the path, who see the path. Before we start our spiritual journey, that we should have clear understanding that where we are going to, what the destination is. Before we start our spiritual journey, we listen to Dhamma very clearly. Then we do everything with the name of the liberation, the final goal. Even though we buy a car or van, we do that thing also thinking our final goal, liberation, enlightenment. Even though we feed our children, even though we go to a party, we do everything having this understanding, having this intention, having this idea. Then some people may think that we are also are the, ordinary people. Physically we are ordinary people with them, we deal with them, but mentally we are different. Our world is different. We can go to a party. Physically we participate to the party, but mentally we are reflecting on Dhamma. And that is the difference. And here, as a disciple of the Buddha, we go on this path with these four things. Our confidence focuses on liberation. Our virtue, our moral conduct focuses on liberation. That is why in the Karanimetta Sutta, Buddha says, Dittincha anupagamma silava dassanena sampanno. We should have moral conduct without going to extremes. What are the extremes? Extreme means Sāsvatavāda or Uchedavāda. Sāsvatavāda means eternalism. Uchedavāda means annihilism. Eternalism means we think there is something which goes continuously. It says as eternalism or Sāsvatavāda. Annihilism means that Uchedavāda, there is nothing in this world. Both of them are extremes. Buddha says, if a person says the arising of five aggregates, he never go to the extreme of Uchedavāda, annihilism. If a person sees the cessation of five aggregates, he never goes to the extreme of eternalism, Sāsvatavāda. These extremes should be reduced by one philosophy, one Buddhist concept, which is the dependent origination, Patisampada, the understanding of impermanence. Our 6 internal senses and 6 external objects are impermanent. Or 5 aggregates are impermanent. It means 5 aggregates means Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Or 6 senses like our ear, nose, eye, like that. What is the nature of impermanence? Impermanence means when we look at something, suddenly we meet the shadow or color. Suddenly it arises and ceases. Forms are alive when eyes are open. Not only that, even though we open eye, even though there are some forms, if we have no intention, consciousness, we are unable to experience. Sometimes we may think that first my eye arises here, then forms are alive here, then consciousness comes with them. It is not true. All of them arise together. When my eyes are closed, I have no forms. Even though forms are here, my eyes are closed, I have no forms. Even though my eyes are open, even though if I haven't consciousness, I have no experience. Everything should be together at once. Then I can experience something. When I see something, first my eye contacts the shadow or color. Then suddenly it ceases. As the result of cessation of colors, Vedana and Sanya, feelings and perception arise. Then my mind contacts with those Sanya and Vedana, perception and feelings. Then my mind understands the thing that I experience through my eyes. When I recognize something through my mind with mind consciousness, the first experience that I receive through my eyes has ceased. But our ignorance doesn't believe it. Our delusion says that, no, my friend, it's still there. That is why our mind is fixed in outside persons and things. Not only just now, but when you remember something, when you remember someone who has blamed you, as soon as you remember that incident, what happens to you? That person has scolded you once, but you are again scolded by him. But that person doesn't know anything. But you are being blamed because of our ignorance. If you can understand this reality, actually our five senses, like eye, ear, nose, body, those senses are instant, and those senses are unable to recognize something. They give only the primary experience, primary sensation. When we recognize something, that first experience has ceased, and also we recognize something through our mind, mental formations, and mind consciousness. We always live with mind consciousness, but our ignorance doesn't believe it. The reason is that we always live in the past experience, but we look at front. Always we take an example like that. When we drive, we always look at front, but our car, the wheels of our car is here. Wheels are here. We are sitting here, but we look at front. When we go somewhere, we look at front. We live here. Like that. When you look at me, you look at front, but you live in with previous experience about me. Like that. If we can understand this reality, we don't depend on outside things and persons. When we experience something through our senses, suddenly we look at inside. What happens to my mind, mental formations, and mind consciousness? They are impermanent. They are dissatisfactory. And they are selfless. With that intention, we are going to the deeper level with the understanding of the dependent origination. Buddha says, if a person can develop these qualities, he can be reborn in these levels, and also if he wants to attain the liberation in this immediate life, as the result of practicing these qualities to the maximum level, he is able to attain enlightenment. Why is that? He practices another karma, another sankhara, mental formations, which are Atti bhikkave kammang akanna sukhang akanna asukha vipakang. There are some actions which are neither black nor white, that consequence, that result, neither black nor white results. Kammakaya sammatati, which cause us to overcome karma. These karmas help us to go around the samsaric circle. But the fourth karma, neither black nor white karmas, help us to go away from the samsaric circle. Why is that? The reason is that our understanding, our vision, sammaditthi. Sammaditthi is the main reason whether we attain enlightenment or not. In this level, our understanding is in the conventional truth that depends on the karmic law. In this level, our understanding is in the ultimate truth which depends on the dependent origination. Understanding the dependent origination. In this level, we can receive some happinesses, some good realms, but we are not away from three challenges: aging, death, and rebirth. That is why we need another level, which is the ultimate truth that would explain the enlightenment. And for that, the learning is very important. Learning decides where we are going to. If our learning is in the conventional truth, with only karmic law, we can be reborn in a blissful life hereafter, after we die. But still we are in the samsaric circle. If our right understanding, sammaditthi, is in the higher level, then we do everything with the understanding of the different origination or impermanence. We know everything. Whenever we depend on outside, whenever we are ignorant, it means our mind is fixed in material things and persons. It means we are suffering when those things change. When they change, when they get sick, when they go into old age, when they change, when they die, we cry. Why is that? Our mind is fixed in material things. The first thing is we should depend on our mental formations in the concentration. And when we go to the higher realm with the understanding of the divine origination, we don't depend on even mental formations. Because mental formations are also impermanent. And where do we depend on? We depend on wisdom, impermanence. Our real friend is not just mind. We should add fullness to our mind, then mindfulness with wisdom. Just mind doesn't help us to overcome suffering. Mindfulness helps us to overcome suffering. Not only living in the present moment, but we should reflect on impermanence, keeping our attention in the present moment with our body, feelings, consciousness, and mental formations. We reflect on impermanence. Samudaya dhammanupassee viharati. We contemplate on arising of these four things, and also why dhammanupassee viharati, but we contemplate on the cessation of these four things. When we reflect on arising and ceasing of four-fold mindfulnesses or five aggregates, then we see only arising and ceasing of our life. Nothing else. Then, for that, these five things help us again and again. With the association of good friends, we should listen to Dhamma again and again. We should clear the understanding of the five aggregates. What happens to my body, my consciousness, mental formations, feelings, we should understand again and again. Not only we should understand, but we should practice Dhamma. Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila means virtue or moral conduct. And Samadhi means concentration. We increase the duration of practicing concentration using some meditation techniques such as loving kindness meditation, contemplating on the Buddha's qualities, contemplating on four fundamental elements, contemplating on the qualities of the Dhamma, Sangha, and contemplating on death. These are the primary techniques. Not only that, in the primary level, we practice some meditation techniques like we told now. Not only that, finally, we practice special meditation technique that Anapanasati Bhavana, breathing meditation. Breathing meditation is very special. Why is that? From the beginning to end, we reduce mental formations. That is the difference. In other meditation techniques, other 39 meditation techniques in Samatha, we develop positive thoughts. But in Anapanasati Bhavana, we don't develop even positive thoughts. We reduce mental formations from beginning to end. And then our mind is very calm and quiet. We live in the present moment, seeing, breathing in and out. Then gradually we go to the deeper level. Finally, we reflect on only impermanence. When someone is used to practice impermanence, he doesn't like to practice other meditation techniques. It is boring. In this level, when we practice loving kindness meditation, we are so happy. When we contemplate on four fundamental elements, when mind is concentrated, we are very happy. But when we have experience with practicing breathing meditation, we are interested in practicing breathing meditation. When we trained our mind to practice insight meditation, then we don't need to practice loving kindness. We don't need to practice four fundamental elements. Why is that? We don't meet anything nor anyone outside. Then we have no anger. We have no lust. If we don't find anything or anyone outside, how lust arises? How anger arises? As soon as we experience something through our senses, suddenly we look at inside. We don't meet a person who blamed me. We don't meet a person who is lustful. I look at inside. Then I don't take even my mental formations as permanent, as satisfactory, as selfless. We reflect on impermanence, dissatisfactoriness, and selfless about our mental formations. Then Buddha says it in the Mahanidana Sutta, Rupakaye Adivachana Sampassa, Namakaye Patika Sampassa. It means Namakaye Patika Sampassa means when we remember someone, suddenly we see that person, his form. And also when we see something, when we hear something, suddenly we go to the previous experience mentally. We always go to these ways. When we remember something, who has blamed you, then suddenly you think that person's body. And also, when I say something, jasmine flower, suddenly you experience jasmine flower, the smell, the nature of the flower. And also, this is the way that we think about. When we have this understanding, with the understanding of the different origination, when we remember something, we don't find those things outside world. And also, when we look at something outside world, they don't bring to our inside, to our home. We keep there outside. We don't bring other snakes to our home. Because of our mindfulness. We have with our mindfulness our best friend. Our best friend doesn't like to bring those things to our home. Our home is very peaceful. We don't like to bring those other snakes to our home. And that is the thing we practice in the bottom level, in the ultimate truth that Buddha says. If a person has developed these 5 qualities to the maximum level, especially having good friends, we develop these qualities to the maximum. In this level, confidence, we can practice Buddhanusati Bhavana, Dhammanusati, Sanghanusati, the contemplation of Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. We can practice these qualities, these meditation techniques to increase our confidence. And also we should associate with good friends again and again. We should ask some questions. When we want to clear our spiritual path, we have to listen into this message again and again. And also, we practice our generosity, our virtue, moral conduct, and wisdom. How do we develop our wisdom? Associating good friends, listening to Dhamma, reflecting on Dhamma, and practicing Samatha Vidarsana. That is the way to develop wisdom. And the highest way, the best way that we can develop our wisdom is that practicing insight meditation. Reflecting on impermanence of 5 aggregates, 6 senses, 6 external objects, 18 elements, and Nama Rupa. Nama means mentality, Rupa means corporeality. Mentality and materiality. Everything is impermanent. Everything arises at the moment. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is prepared. Nothing is ready-made. We make everything at the moment. Again and again we make something. Like you made some coffee or tea. Every moment, according to our present mental condition, our 6 senses every moment change. And according to our 6 senses, we experience something outside. And if we are ignorant, we are in delusion, then we meet some persons and things outside. If we are mindful and wise, suddenly we look at inside. As the result of our previous actions, we meet 5 aggregates, Panchaskandha. Even Arahantas have 5 aggregates. But when they come to the Jnanacharya, the behavior of wisdom, they have no They don't meet 5 aggregates. In their world, they have only 4 aggregates. In our world, we have 5 aggregates. Why is that? We have forms. When we see something, when we taste something, when we smell something, when we feel something, when we touch something, when we hear something, there are some outside things we meet. But when Arhantas experience something, they know very well, those 5 things have already ceased. They experience something through their mind. When someone mentions something through their mind, the first experience that we receive through our 5 senses have already ceased. But in our world, they haven't ceased. Even though they have ceased, materially, mentally, in our world, they haven't ceased. That is why we depend on outside. When we go to the higher level, even though we see some forms, even though we eat something, we have overcome material things. Physically, we can eat something, but mentally, we are in the mental formations, reflecting on arising and ceasing of our mental formations. If we have this understanding, that is the liberation. That is the enlightenment. That is the real freedom. That is the way how we go away from the prison. We are in the prison. What is the prison? Prison is that our mind is fixed in outside materials. That is the prison. We are happy to live in the prison with our ignorance. However, if we know this reality, we want to overcome, we want to go away from the prison. That is why Buddha says, Atta Depa Bhikkhave Atta Saranana Anisarana. Dwell with yourself as an island, as a refuge, with no other refuge. Dwell with the Dhamma as a refuge, no other refuge. Then we can live like a lotus flower in this society. Susukangvata jivama verinesu averino, verinesu manusesu viharama verino. Let's live happily without anger among the people, those who are angry. Susukangvata jivama usukesu anusuka, usukesu manusesu viharama anusuka. Let's live without seeking sensual pleasure among the people, those who are seeking sensual pleasure. Susukangvata jivama aturesu anatura, aturesu manusesu viharama anatura. Let's live without mental illnesses among the people, those who are mentally ill. Again Buddha says, Susukangvata jivama yesanno natti kinchanang pitibakha bhavisama deva abhasrayata. Let's live without any defilements, like a radiant being, Abhasradeva. This is the path how we make a refuge. This is the path how we attain the real happiness, liberation, enlightenment. In this life, we are so fortunate. We have received all facilities. Not only that, we have received the message of the Buddha. And also we have lesser time for practicing Dhamma. Even though some people are interested in learning and practicing Dhamma, but they have no enough lesser time. They are so busy. They want to spend their time for earning money for their utilities and facilities. But you are so fortunate. Even though you do some jobs, you have enough time to practice Dhamma. That moment we have received because of our previous merits and previous wishes. When a person has received these facilities we should dedicate our entire life for having the results of this message. And first of all, Buddha explained as a result of person who is endowed with these 5 qualities, if he likes, he can have a blissful life in the samsaric circle, in the human realm, heaven realm, or Brahma realm. And also, if a person can practice these qualities to the maximum level, with the understanding of the dependent origination, if he wants to attain the enlightenment in this immediate life, he is able to attain this spiritual goal too in this life. First of all, we should make a refuge that we never fall into hell. Saggamagga, the heavenly path. Heavenly means not only the heavenly realm, but even the human realm is said as heavenly realm, blissful life. And also, not only we should have a blissful life hereafter, but day by day, we should go forward, reducing defilements that disturb our peace of mind. Especially, we should try to overcome ignorance or delusion. Reducing anger and greed is not a special thing in Buddhism. Even though Buddha doesn't appear in this world, there are some people who can overcome greed and anger. In this time of the period of the Buddha, we receive special thing is that the path that we can overcome to ignorance by practicing wisdom. For that, we should understand the dependent origination, and also we should reflect on impermanence again and again. Impermanence, dissatisfactoriness, and selflessness. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. When we contemplate on these 3 things, we have no struggle with anyone or anything. Our mind is in equanimity. We don't go to change anything. The only thing that we should do is change in our attitude, our perception. When we change our perception, everything is neutral. In this level, we go to control outside things and persons. In the bottom level, in the ultimate truth, we do only change in our perception. When we change our perception, we know everything which is impermanent, dissatisfactory, and selfless. Then we are in equanimity. Have any question? Yes?
What is that Sinhalese word?
It is Sinhala word is Buddha. Buddhattva, that is Buddhattva, it is said in short, Buddha. Yes, English word is enlightenment. It is the Sinhala word of the enlightenment.
Did you say at one point that we can wipe out our bad karma?
Our bad karmas, we are unable to reduce bad karmas. We can make powerful our good karmas.
So that it can suppress the bad.
Yes. Okay. Then our negative karmas go back. When the sun is in the sky, even though there are some stars, the stars are not powerful. The sun is shining like that. If you can make strong our good karmas, such as 5 precepts, loving kindness meditation, and alms giving, Sangika Dana, and also concentration meditation, especially loving kindness meditation. These are the qualities that we can develop our spirituality in the mundane level to the maximum level. Then our negative karmas, many of them go back. But even though we practice these qualities, sometimes we are unable to reduce some negative actions of our previous karmas. That is why we need the final liberation. When we reflect on impermanence, flowers and rocks are same. Galui malui dekam samana. Now we like flowers, we dislike stones. But when we have this highest understanding, rocks or stones and flowers both are same. Both are included into 4 fundamental elements.
Isn't there 5 karmas that you can't get rid of? The anantara karma?
No, he asked that the previous karmas. Anantara karmas, if someone has done anantara karma, no treatment. If we practice, if we have killed our mom, dad, if we Buddha's life, like the Arhanta's life, Sangha Veda, those are the very powerful evils. We are unable to overcome those results in this immediate life. But in future, one day after we receive those results, one day we can remove them. In this life, we are unable to even attain the Sotapanna.
Oh, if you have done any of those major crimes, you can't even become a Sotapanna.
Never. In this life.
Oh.
This life. Not only Sotapanna, but even we are unable to attain the first jhana. If someone had jhanas, after he does those evils, then he is unable to renew those jhanas in this life, like Devadatta. Devadatta Hamdru had jhanas before he did
the
evil things. After he did those evil things, he lost everything. He could go here and there invisibly with the psychic energy, psychic powers. But everything lost after he did these evils. We are so fortunate. We haven't done those things yet. It means we can go any place that we like, in the samsaric circle or out of the samsaric circle, the enlightenment. Thank you for your good listening, and with understanding and practicing Dhamma and meditation, we acquired a lot of positive thoughts. By the power of those positive thoughts, may our departed relatives also receive this spiritual energy. May they enhance their samsaric journey, blissful life, and finally they also attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's share these merits with our departed relatives, reciting the Gatha. Idam me ñāti nam hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nam hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nam hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. By the power of this spiritual energy, may guardian deities and angels also receive these merits. May they enhance their divine energy. May they keep their eye on you too. May they also attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's share these merits with guardian deities and angels too. Akasatta ca bhummatta devānaga Punyantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu sāsanam ākāsattā ca bhummattā devā nāgā Punyantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu desanam ākāsattā ca bhummattā devā nāgā Punyantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu tvaṃ sadā. By the power of all these meritorious deeds, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no problems come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May your all righteous wishes meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain the final bliss of liberation. Dukkhaṃ pantā ca niddukkhaṃ bhayaṃ pantā ca nibbhayaṃ sokaṃ pantā ca nissokaṃ hontu sambe pipānino. May the triple gem bless you.